I'm going to show you what smart glasses you can buy for each budget, starting at $50 and working my way up to over $1,000. There's a pair of glasses in particular that has a dual lens heads-up display in both eyes, shoots stabilized video better than most action cameras, shows you Google Maps live in your field of view, and reads you full ChatGPT responses in seconds. And it costs $200 less than Meta's display glasses. But we'll get there. I've put the links in the description for everything we cover today for your convenience. Some of these are on significant sales right now, so worth checking before you decide anything. If you have only $50, there's exactly one smart glasses worth mentioning because most of what exists at this price point advertises a list of features that simply don't work. These camera glasses are the exception, not because they're impressive, but because they do one thing reliably. 1080p recording, no time limit, no recording light, 32GB micro SD card included. No AI, no audio, no assistant. Just a discreet hands-free camera that runs without asking you for anything. At $49, it does one thing and it does it pretty well. Step up to $59 and something genuinely shifts. The Get AI glasses are the only sub $100 smart glasses where the AI actually functions the way it's supposed to. You get live translation, a real assistant, Spotify playback, and speakers good enough to actually use in a normal setting. They turn on the moment you put them on, and off when you take them off, which sounds minor until you've owned glasses that don't do that. The styles are legitimately good. There's a transition lens version at this price point that might be the best looking smart glasses you've worn at any price. That's a real statement when you're talking $59, considering most cheap smart glasses look like a prop from a 2009 tech expo. At $99, the OHO camera sunglasses take a different approach entirely. No AI, no assistant, just pure camera. But the 1080p 30 frames per second landscape footage is a real noticeable step up from the $49 pair. If you're creating content on a tight budget and need clean horizontal footage without drawing attention to yourself, these are the tool. You get built-in 32GB with a micro SD slot inside if you need more room. The stabilization doesn't compare to what we'll get to later, but for $99, the footage holds up. Now we move into the range where things start getting serious. At $115, the Amazon Echo frames normally sell for over $300. They've been sitting at $115 for weeks now, and that's the whole story here. They're some of the lightest smart glasses on the market, and the styles are pretty sharp. There's a navy version that honestly looks better than a lot of what Ray-Ban is currently putting out. You get calls, texts, music, and quick access to Siri, Google, or Alexa right from the arm. The battery stretches to 14 hours with moderate use, 6 hours continuous if you're listening at high volume. They come with a wireless charging stand that looks like it belongs in a spy film. No visible contact points, you just set them down and they charge. There's no camera and no display. But if what you want is lightweight smart assistant access throughout your day, $115 for this is the kind of deal that doesn't stay around forever. And then there's the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1 at $224, which is honestly the value centerpiece of this entire video. These were selling at $479 not long ago. For $224, you're getting a stable 1080p 30 frames per second camera, solid microphone quality, calls, texts, Spotify, Audible, 5 languages of live translation, Meta's AI assistant, and celebrity voice options built in. The smart move is to buy the base black version and source third-party lenses separately. You'll spend less and end up with better glass than whatever the upcharge gets you at checkout. Anyone who knows this market understands how much sits at $224 here. Yeah, boy. It's the pair that anyone watching this should probably just buy and stop overthinking. Speaking of overthinking, if you're enjoying the video so far, stop overthinking it and smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more honest breakdowns of the coolest gadgets that matter to you the most. Moving to $399, the Oakley Metas bring essentially the same technology as the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2 in a different frame. Same 3K 30 frames per second vertical camera, same AI features, same connected apps, but with double the battery life of the Gen 1 and in Oakley's form factor. The choice between Oakley and Ray-Ban at this level is almost entirely aesthetic. If you're an Oakley person, the decision is easy. The all-black versions wear well. At $499, the Halliday AI glasses introduce a heads-up display into the picture for the first time in this list. You get translation, notifications, audio memos, calls, music, and a display projected in the right lens. They're light, they look clean, and on paper, they cover a lot of ground. But they have some issues. The sound quality doesn't match the price. The display sits in a small window above the lens rather than against it, so you're looking up and to the right to read anything. And the screen itself is smaller than $499 should allow. It's not a bad product, but there are better ways to spend that money unless a display is specifically what you're after. Now we get to the part of this list that actually changes the conversation. If I had more than $500 to spend on smart glasses, I would buy the Rokid glasses. At $599, you get dual lens display built through a lens splitter system, ChatGPT 5 as the default AI with a selection of other assistants available. You also get a wide-angle camera with real electronic stabilization, something that wasn't in earlier versions and they fixed, with up to 10 minutes of recording in vertical or horizontal. The coloring is better than the Meta glasses, and the low-light performance beats them outright. You also get Google Maps navigation live in your field of view while you're moving, a teleprompter, the ability to read full ChatGPT responses in a few seconds, and I mean actual paragraphs, not summarized sentences. You can even build apps for it. It weighs 49 grams, so they're super light and comfortable to wear all day. The display is bright enough to use outside. Clip-on sunshades are available for $20 if you need them. For content creation specifically, the stabilization alone puts it ahead of most things in this price range, and the fact that you can shoot horizontal in good color for up to 10 minutes straight makes it a serious tool. The one caveat worth knowing: the display is green, not full color. It feels like you're in Fallout 3, which might be a plus for some of you. It's worth knowing before you spend $599. Here's why that matters in context. The Meta Ray-Ban display costs $799, $200 more. What you get for that money is a single lens display in the right eye only, a limited app set built around WhatsApp, Instagram, and Meta's ecosystem, and hand tracking through a wristband with a learning curve. If you live inside Meta's ecosystem and those specific apps are genuinely central to how you communicate, that's a real use case and the product makes sense for you. But if you're comparing what each product actually does at its price, feature for feature, display for display, capability for capability, the Rokid covers more ground for less money. And this is not my biased opinion, it's the truth. At the top, $1,099, the RayNeo X3 Pro brings full-color dual-lens display, a vertical 1080p 30 frames per second camera, AR navigation, which is one of its best features, 14 languages of live translation, strong audio, excellent microphones, and the ability to side-load Android apps. All of this in a frame that, at 76 grams, doesn't make you look like you're wearing a science project. The hardware is really impressive. The problem is the battery. You get less than an hour on a charge. For anything beyond a short session, you'll be running a USB-C cable to your phone. At $1,099, that's not a footnote. It's a central part of what owning these actually feels like day to day. If your specific use case works around that constraint, the display quality and camera hold up, but it's worth keeping in mind before dropping $1,000 on these. To put it simply, Rokid is the best all-around choice if you want a real dual display experience with solid content creation capability and no desire to overpay for a brand name. I would stay away from the Meta display unless you're already deep in Meta's ecosystem and you really want a screen for it. And the most advanced visual hardware available right now is in the RayNeo X3 Pro. If you have a workaround that battery situation and the cash, then go for it. So these are the best smart glasses I would buy for each price point. But there are some incredible new smart glasses coming out this year that will completely replace your phone. And I talk about all of them in this next video.